wanted to follow up on that question. The government website is Thank you.
All right, I'll try somebody else. Okay, roll call, please, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Figueroa?
Yes.
Mr. Kine?
Yes.
Mr. Worth?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mayor Gill?
I'm going to say yes, except for, here we go. Conference item of discussion. All right, Terry and Larry, what do you got, gentlemen?
Before you go, Terry and Larry, with that agenda, what's going on the corner of Park, Haddonfield Road, Maple? They're digging up again.
They're building a sign. They're building a welcome to Pennsauken sign. Donated by and done with the big council, am I right?
But this
But they're doing remediation there too, right now.
That too.
Yeah. They're doing remediation. They're cleaning up the contaminated soil from the old oil, the old gas tanks.
I understand that, but for it to have been, it was remediated before, so.
Well, something might have come back in one of the samples that they did, and they're trying to.
Okay, because they dug that thing up before. That's the whole thing, and then, okay.
When they sold that property, when we had those gentlemen in here before, okay, what they dug it up, took out the tanks, okay, the soil was contaminated, and they tried to put whoever, this was from Exxon, whoever bought that property, part of the sale price, because they got it pretty reasonable from Exxon, was their responsibility to remediate the dirt, and that's what's happening now, because I think they finally got somebody to go in there and bought the franchise and make the pretzel place. That's what I understand.
I'm telling you.
All right, so Terry and Larry.
the first one is National Liquidators LLC. That's 9101 River Road. It was a change of ownership. It was actually vacant for quite a while, and someone purchased it. They didn't come in like they should have ordinarily, and we caught them when a new tenant came in. So this is for a change of ownership, as well as a tenant, which is PSE&G, which they're storing equipment and poles.
PSE&G is going to be doing a lot of work in town when they redo the switching station behind the police station too. So.
Well, I don't think PSE&G is a bad tenant.
What's the square footage of their?
It's all outside. Primarily it's all in the yard. The terminal only has about 8 bays. It's a very small terminal.
All right, gentlemen, anybody have any problems? Is that all right? Is everybody okay?
Total square footage is 20,000 square feet.
All right, next one.
Okay. The next one is Frank Paulsworth, a gentleman that for the past 8 years or so has been selling Christmas trees down at the airport circle, 7533 South Crescent Boulevard, right outside Village Street. He's just trying to get an early start on it this year.
Is he going to do artificial trees at this time of the year?
I wouldn't see any problem as long as that parking lot's in condition to do that for the safety of the public. So they fixed it up last year, so I'm assuming it's the same.
We'll follow up on that just to make sure.
And if that's in check, is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. AT&T?
AT&T, it's actually two. The first one, 800 Hilton Road, is actually in the redevelopment zone. The tower is along Route 73, the other side of the football stadium. What they're going to do is they're going to replace three of the existing antennas. They're going to upgrade it with 4G LTE antennas, and they're also going to put behind the antennas they're going to put behind the antennas 6 remote radio heads. And this is on that pole. I'm not a high-tech guy, so no. And they're also going to do the same thing at the tower at the golf course. They're going to replace the existing row of antennas on there with new antennas. Higher upgrade.
Right. Newer technology, they're good.
Oh, yeah.
To get more calls and things going through without adding another tower.
Exactly.
Hey, Terry,
When they do this, is there any, while the upgrade takes place, is there any disruption of service? In doing this upgrade, does it affect any other,
Hours?
yeah, towers or any other attachments by other providers?
No.
And then I'll just add to that, yeah, does it change the contract at all with wherever these towers are
The
going
one
to?
on the golf course, no. We just renegotiated that, lowest lawyer, so 3 years ago or so. And with that, we have a cost of living every time. The term is 5 years. Each term is 5 years. Each time the 5-year term is up, with a new 5-year term, there's an adjustment in there upwards. I'm not sure on the Board of Education.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
is that it?
The only other thing I just wanted to announce is that we did have the grand opening of H&R Appliances down on Route 130. Very, very well done. Unfortunately, the earthquake that day, but during the opening, but you know, they sold goods. The goods are, it's a very, very nice store.
They made a memorable opening with the
Yes.
earthquake. I stood there shaking, and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so they did a heck of a job with making dilapidated building on Route 130.
All right. Okay, any other questions for these fine gentlemen?
Take one from the public or not?
What's that?
Did you take a question from the public yet?
I don't know, did we take a question from the public on that? I don't know if this is a public
It
thing
really
now.
isn't, but you can certainly do whatever you like.
Go ahead, Lonnie, since you're,
Lonnie Monaco, 4118 Homestead Avenue. These businesses and upgrades and stuff like that, is that something that the township goes out and solicits for? You approach these companies, or is it,
No, this
does
is
these
some,
companies just come to
the
the
tower's
township?
already in existence.
Right.
Okay, and I'll just read you
the answer to that is, that's in the redevelopment zone, so any upgrade or anything for that in the redevelopment zone automatically comes to us, no matter what.
Comes to you. So there's no provision for these gentlemen or anybody else in the township to actually go out and solicit
That's not what you said.
businesses to try to get businesses into
Now,
Pennsauken.
well, no,
That's a big difference.
yeah, they do that, but your question was
About
the
these.
way I understood your question
Go
was
ahead.
about these particular things we're talking about. They're being brought up because they're in the redevelopment area, okay? And that automatically comes to us because we're the redevelopment authority for the town, okay? Now, and their function of their job, their duty, is to go out and try to enhance and solicit businesses to come to town. That is part of their,
But none of these are those items. It's only the first item, the redevelopment areas. Is that right?
The first one's a new tenant.
Yeah, the first one's a new tenant, okay? And the next two, village strip parking, okay? In order for them to get a temporary permit to sell Christmas trees, that always comes to us because we issue them, all right? And the AT&T cell tower, they're in the redevelopment zone, that's why it's being brought to us, okay? Because they're changing what was there, and it always has to get run by the redevelopment authority. Okay?
Okay, but if there were none of these were in the redevelopment area, would that be something that was coming to the township because it was something that these guys had gone out and tried to bring business in, or because the businesses approached the township wanting to come into the town?
The answer is yes.
It's a combination of
Yeah.
both.
It all
Yeah,
depends,
answer is yes
case
to
by
your
case.
There are a lot of companies that these guys have solicited. There are other companies that like what they see and expand. There's companies that hear and go get a bigger place because these guys found them a bigger place to move to.
And then their application, depending upon, might go to the planning board or the zoning board for approvals.
And anytime there's a change of hands of buildings, whether it's residential or commercial, okay, it has to come to the township because they have to make sure, or they have to bring everything up to the latest code before the new tenant will get a CO.
My understanding of Mr. Monaco's question has everything to do about are these just guys reactive, they're not proactive? I think that's what he's trying to get to and what I'm trying to say.
Is that what you're trying to say, Mr. Monaco?
don't know if I would say it quite like that. but
Well,
I'm
pretty
just
close.
Just as an open question, are we soliciting for businesses to come into the town, or are we reacting by people coming to us and saying they want to come into Pennsauken?
Yes
What
and
Combination of both.
What's the paper company you bought in a few years ago over on,
Delta?
yeah? And what's the other,
The appliance
how
company
about
we
the-
just opened up, you guys solicited.
And how about Collision Max? Did we solicit them?
Yeah.
Okay, now, for those that are being solicited to come into, is that solicitation part of an overall plan